And I talked to her and she said, "Mommy, I missed you." I said, "I miss you too, baby." She goes, "Where's Daddy?" What do you tell her?
Erika Kirk's wife is creeping me out. What the hell is with that blueberry budget thing? Why would you say that to your kids?
Why does Erika Kirk keep forgetting that she has children?
What are they going to threaten me with? Going to heaven sooner to be with my husband?
I think you could ask any mother this same question, and every mother is going to express concern about who's going to take care of the kids.
The air in the room was likely thick with the kind of fragile silence that only exists in a house recently visited by death, but the exchange that broke it was anything but comforting. According to Erika Kirk, she shared a moment with her 3-year-old daughter that she clearly intended to be perceived as heartwarming, but which instead sent a shiver down the spines of countless observers.
If you are marrying a man that is not capable of completely and totally handling the finances, then you should not marry that man. Finances will break a marriage quicker than anything else, period.
But what if he checks all of the boxes? He just is horrible at money.
Fine.
And you're really good at
Doesn't
money.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
She recounted asking her daughter, who said, "Mommy, I missed you." To which Erika replied, "I miss you too, baby." But then came the heartbreaking question that every parent in her situation dreads. Where's Daddy? Will you tell a 3-year-old whose world has collapsed? Most child psychologists would suggest simple, reassuring truths geared toward their developmental level, emphasizing safety and enduring love. Erika Kirk took a different route, one that has left onlookers utterly baffled and deeply disturbed. I said, "Baby."
And I talked to her and she said, "Mommy, I missed you." I said, "I miss you too, baby." She goes, "Where's Daddy?" What do you tell a 3-year-old? She's 3. I said, "Baby, Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget."
Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget. It was a statement that landed with a sickening thud. Instead of a grieving widow gently guiding her confused toddler through the labyrinth of loss, audiences heard something else entirely, a transaction. They heard a mother confusing a grieving child by equating her father's permanent absence with a need to pay for groceries. Why on earth would you say that to your kids?
So apparently she used to run an orphanage in Romania, and it was a Christian orphanage, and allegedly a lot of kids went missing. A lot of kids who came into that orphanage went missing. With her ties to you-know-who, his ties to you-know-who, a lot of people are speculating that those kids were...
The reference to a blueberry budget in the face of profound tragedy struck many as grotesque, a bizarre injection of financial anxiety into a moment that required pure emotional support. IT is perhaps no wonder. Then, that reports began to surface that Erika Kirk was left stunned when that very same 3-year-old daughter reportedly begged not to stay with her mother, but to live with Charlie's parents instead. For their part, Charlie's parents were allegedly more than happy to open their doors to their grandchild. But the situation has rapidly escalated from a preference for Grandma's house into something far more contentious. Whisper networks are now buzzing with the rumor that Charlie's parents are actively seeking custody not just of the 3-year-old, but also of Erika's 1-year-old son. The catalyst for this drastic move? Allegations that Erika has been profoundly neglectful of the children in the weeks since Charlie died. Before critics dismiss these rumors as mere gossip or overreaction, it is crucial to remember the fundamental truth that very young children have no agenda. They have no reason to lie about their basic needs, especially when they are experiencing acute discomfort or emotional distress. So, when reports emerge that Erika's toddler is actively crying and screaming to get away from her mother, it forces an uncomfortable question into the spotlight. Is Erika really failing her children spectacularly in their greatest hour of need? Or are Charlie's parents opportunistically capitalizing on a family tragedy to seize control? The central question haunting observers is why Erika Kirk seems to frequently forget the immediate emotional needs of her offspring. When faced with questions about the future, her focus seems elsewhere. When asked what threats she faces, her response was bizarrely self-centered. Going to heaven sooner to be with my husband. While one might expect any mother to immediately express concern about who would care for her children should something happen to her, Erika's mindset seems focused inward. Erika recently attempted to control the narrative by revealing that her daughter still cries for her father months after his passing. She detailed how she explains that he is in heaven and that the child needs only to look at the sky to speak with him. When delivering this anecdote, critics noted that Erika hit every theatrical mark: the well-timed tears, the pregnant pauses, the audible sniffles. It appeared to be a carefully choreographed performance designed to elicit sympathy and demonstrate how much she and the children were struggling. Yet, the audience was receiving a transmission entirely different from the one she intended to send. They didn't see a grieving widow managing her daughter's pain. They saw a confused toddler desperately trying to understand why the parent with whom she shared a genuine bond had vanished. This disconnect is what ignited the firestorm of criticism. Erika has been visibly straining to insert heartwarming anecdotes into her public appearances, attempting to paint a picture of a hands-on mother guiding her brood through darkness. However, insiders paint a starkly different picture of what happens when the cameras are off. While the 1-year-old boy may be too young to process the permanence of the situation, reports suggest the daughter spends her days in a state of perpetual sorrow, crying for the father she truly connected with. When Charlie's parents realized the depth of their granddaughter's daily struggle, they reportedly knew intervention was necessary. It's an open secret that Charlie's parents never truly warmed to Erika. Their long-held suspicion was that she was always more enamored with the lifestyle and financial security Charlie provided than with the man himself. Now, in the aftermath of his death, those suspicions feel validated to many looking from the outside in. The scrutiny on Erika has intensified, peeling back layers to reveal an ambition that many describe as money-hungry. A resurfaced interview between Charlie and Erika has become Exhibit A in the court of public opinion regarding her priorities. In the clip, the couple argues over financial control within their household. While Charlie advocates for a partnership where both are responsible stewards of their resources, Erika is relentless, insisting she alone should handle the finances and sign the checks. Her statements were revealing. And if you are marrying a man that is not capable of completely and totally handling the finances, that you should not marry that man. She went further, declaring, "Finances will break a marriage quicker than anything else. Period." When pushed on what should happen if a man checks every other box but is bad with money while the wife is skilled, her dismissive response was telling. Doesn't matter. Okay, doesn't matter. The fact that she couldn't even feign agreement with Charlie on the concept of shared responsibility spoke volumes. But what happened after his death was even more illustrative of her character. The speed with which she stepped into Charlie's shoes was breathtaking. Within mere weeks, she had effectively positioned herself as the CEO of Turning Point USA, dishing out orders and, crucially, taking control of the organization's substantial checkbook. It appeared to many observers that she possessed a premeditated blueprint for a takeover, merely waiting for Charlie to vacate the premise, so she could ascend to the throne. This intense ambition is not a new development. It has always simmered just beneath the surface. Erika didn't simply materialize out of thin air into Charlie's world. Before meeting him, she had attempted various ventures aiming for fame and fortune. Furthermore, her own father's close ties with powerful Republican figures, including connections to Trump's orbit, suggest a life scripted for power aggregation. She was practically engineered to lead the next generation of MAGA champions. She once even let slip that her meeting Charlie was hardly serendipity. Recounting a trip to Israel, she described standing in a ticket line with her mother and noticing a familiar-looking man behind her. Despite claiming not to know who he was, her mother's immediate, intense urging to go and say hi, even though they were late for a flight and it would seem bizarre, suggests a targeted approach. As Erika herself said, that ended up being Charlie. Nothing is by coincidence. When viewed through that lens, the entire relationship begins to look less like a romance and more like a merger and acquisition. The more people dug into her past, the more evidence surfaced suggesting Erika never truly wanted Charlie, or perhaps even the children for their own sake. This transactional view of relationships explains why critics believe she cannot be bothered to be emotionally present for her kids now. This isn't her first brush with accusations of treating children as props. Erika previously ran a Christian orphanage called Romanian Angels. Reports from that time allege that she never genuinely tried to connect with the children on a personal level. It was all about the optics of charity. Even darker rumors persist that the orphanage facilitated the movement of thousands of children away from their families to Europe and Asia without proper documentation. While these heinous allegations have never been proven in a court of law, they have also never been decisively debunked, hanging over her reputation like a dark cloud. Critics point to this as evidence of a fundamental lack of maternal instinct. The confusion deepens when examining her current financial behavior. While Erika publicly speaks about not wanting Charlie's good work to suffer, she conveniently ignores the reality of the massive financial cushion he left behind. Charlie's net worth was estimated to be over $12 million, almost all of which presumably went to Erika and the children.